Hi YouTube, it's Kathy. Welcome back to Ask an Introvert, the weekly internet series where you ask and I answer. Am I getting better at intros? I feel like I'm getting a little bit better at the intros. This week's question is another party-related question, which I tried to avoid for a few weeks because a lot of the early questions were about parties. Besides leaving, what stress reduction tactics do you employ when you start to feel overwhelmed at a party or other crowded event? I'm going to assume that in this case you're talking about leaving as in leaving altogether. Another thing you can do is just go outside for some air. If it's a big event that has a multi-stall bathroom situation, just going and sitting in a bathroom stall for a little while is actually a good way to get your own little bit of personal space within all of the crowd. Outside of leaving-based things that you can do, one thing that I like to do is find something else to focus on. If I'm just standing in the middle of a crowded room and there's a bunch of people talking, I will focus on how much I have anxiety at that moment and how much I don't want to be there. And that's not going to be very helpful, especially if it's one, something I want to be at, and two, something I have to be at. Potentially controversial time, one of the ways that I manage this is I go and I get a drink. Having a pint of beer not only gives me that little bit of anxiety reduction based on the alcohol that's in that beer, but it also gives me something else to focus on. So if I have something in my hand that I can focus on, I'm suddenly not thinking about all of the things that people could be observing in me that could be potentially wrong. Now, before anyone cries in the comments that I'm promoting alcoholism, that's not what I'm promoting at all. If you'll notice, I said one beverage. As it turns out, alcohol is legal, and it's actually one of those things that can help anxiety. And if I choose to take a safe dose of it, that's my choice. Not to mention, I find you don't even have to have an alcoholic beverage, you just need to have something to hold. So having a soft drink of your choice would also be a thing that you could do if you don't want to drink. I also find it a really good idea to place myself somewhere in the room where I can hear the few people that I'm trying to talk to. If I'm standing between two different conversations, there's no way I'm going to be joining one or the other because I will hear both of them and I will be jumping back and forth trying to figure out which one is the better one to join instead of just joining one. It's also just a really good idea to have somebody there you know who knows that you're introverted and knows that you would feel comfortable if you could just hang out. Having that one person to latch onto will make you feel better because it's kind of like having a security blanket. You're not 100% dependent on them to have a good time, but it will increase your ability to focus on the conversation if you know that there's at least one person in your corner. If you would like to ask an introvert, that would be wonderful. You can let me know down in the comments below. On the way down in the comments, if you hit that subscribe button, that would be wonderful. You can also like and share this as you see fit, and I will see you next week for another Ask an Introvert. Bye!